And so it's really unique for a junior explorer to have this large land holding. What the company is pointing out in this slide is that the average market cap of the companies on this list is 50 billion. Their current market cap is 28 million. And so from the perspective of land holdings, Hannan Metals is incredibly undervalued. That's one possible way to look at those numbers. And of course, if this is, if the land is worthless, who cares? But we're assuming that that's not the case. And when we have Quentin on board, my belief, my bias, he knows how to find minerals if they exist. And so if Hannan has precious metals in their land holdings, Quentin's going to find them. And so another company, this one, Kuya is not looking super bullish here. I mean, you can see we're on a sell signal, albeit MACD is still in bull mode. Both indicators still above the zero level, although we're on a sell signal. Stochastics obviously dropping. Energy or momentum is dropping. Price is currently sitting on support or potential support at the bottom of this price channel and just above the 50-day moving average. We can see that on Friday, price tested the 50-day moving average. Buyers came in, pushed price back up. So, and then we have this horizontal support resistance level as well. So, what we'd like to see from here is Kuya turning higher, and we will see. So right now it's it's not looking good, but that's what we're hoping to see there, is that the Kuya finds support on the 50 and turns up from there. Kuya's an interesting company. It's another Quentin company, and Kuya purchased the Bethania mine in Peru, and they are bringing it back into production. It's a high-grade silver mine. It was privately held. The family that owned it placed it on care and maintenance in 2016. So this is an existing mine. It was producing as recently as 2016. Now Kuya has acquired it. What they are doing is building a processing plant on site. The previous owners used the toll milling model, where they mined the high-grade silver and then trucked it some distance to a mill. And, that worked for them. They were doing it small scale. But anyway, Kuya is, instead of jumping into production, they could easily do the same thing. They could just start that tomorrow. They're permitted, and they've got most of their permits. I don't want to say that they've got all of their permits. Anyway, they're well on the road to being permitted. But instead of doing that, they're waiting to get their processing plant in place on site so they can do their own processing and save that hauling fee, or minimize the hauling fee to get their ore to the mill. Yeah, so Kuya is an interesting company. Did I have anything else I wanted to talk about? P2, Hannan, Kuya. Those were really the companies. Let's flip through the charts real quick. Gold, obviously it got hit big time last week. It's bumping sideways, kind of licking its wounds, and then on Friday dropped below the 200-day moving average and closed below that average. which of course is not bullish. We've got price potentially sitting on support just above this 1820 level. We can see that prior low and then prior lows back here. So maybe we get support at this horizontal level. We've potentially got support at this lower median line extension of this shift pitchfork. MACD on a sell signal, and energy is low. So like I said earlier, nothing exciting in the charts. What is positive, or I find positive, is that silver is still maintaining well above the 200-day moving average. And I'd like to remind people and point out anyone who was not involved in the bull market from 99 to 2011, this kind of hit that we had on the precious metals back in the prior bull market, it would have sent both gold and silver lower for weeks, if not months. And so, to have price holding up as well as it is encouraging. Yeah, so SIL is obviously it's the silver miners ETF. It looks better than GDXJ does. We got this big, that's an ugly candlestick, obviously, on Friday, but price is still above the 200-day moving average, and we've got this horizontal support resistance level that may catch price. No sign of bottoming yet there. We didn't really look at GDXJ because I didn't want to. I had noticed this. This is called an island reversal. It's when price leaves a few candles basically isolated. We got a gap up and then a gap down, and we've left those orphan children behind, and that's not a bullish pattern at all. My bullish bias, I was ignoring that last week because I was hoping price would overcome, but obviously that's not the case. Next support we can look for in GDXJ is down at this prior low, and so that was 47.68. We've got the median line of this modified shift pitchfork as another potential support level. The dollar, obviously this is one of the things that's affecting the dollar. We reached our target at the lower median line of the shift pitchfork, and then the dollar began pressing higher. On Friday, we got this strong candlestick as price pushed up into resistance. This whole zone is a resistance zone. We've got this overhead price action to work through. We've got resistance from the median line of this pitchfork. We've got the 50-day moving average just above that. So a lot of resistance here for the dollar to work through. Let's notice that this pitchfork has been doing an excellent job of describing the action in the U.S. dollar, and so it's reasonable to expect that there will be resistance at this median line. So we'll get a good indication of the strength of this move when we see what the dollar does here at the median line. So that's part of what's affecting the metals, obviously. Interest rates as well. This is the significant move. We had 3 more days moving higher last week. We had an auction in the 10-year note. The auction was well received, and that took some of the pressure out of this market. And so we got a little bit of a pullback. But I would point out that looks like a pullback, not a reversal. So no reason to think that we don't have higher interest rates ahead of us. And let's go look. I lost some of my charts. My computer rebooted unexpectedly this morning. So this is the 10-year note in the weekly time frame, and what this looks like to me is that we've got a target at 1.5%, and I don't know why. I suspect that target will be hit. We've got the 10-week moving average moving above the 40, and that's a non-trivial change. What do we got on this chart? So that's back. There's the start, start of 19. So anyway, that's a non-trivial change with that moving average crossover. We've got very high energy. We've got MACD has moved into bull mode, and obviously it's on a buy signal. So anyway, I'm expecting higher rates and all the way up to 1.5%. You heard it here first, folks. Equities, we'll just talk about the NASDAQ. You can look at the PDF for the other ones. All three of the indexes have this little price channel that they're within and have been for a while now, a couple of weeks. They're testing or close to testing the bottom of these price channels. A little bit of weakness Friday as they penetrated the 20-day moving averages. We'll see what we get from the equities next week. Brent, we had our target at 58. That peak, that's 57.30. So we didn't quite get our target. We'll see. This looks like a pullback so far, and perhaps another push higher. That we'll see. Folks, I've rambled for far too long. Thank you for spending some time with me, and I will talk to you again soon.